Yeah, Yuval Ron. Hello and welcome back. How's things going with you?
Thanks, Stephen. Things are great. A lot of action, a lot of creativity, a lot of new albums. A film score in the making. I'm working on a film score right now. I'm producing a couple of albums. There's about four different albums in production,
Hmm.
and I'm going to Guatemala in on December 8th to teach a retreat about sound healing and using
Hmm.
sound practices as meditation.
Hmm.
And I'm going to give a concert in Guatemala with a Mayan hip hop band,
Nice.
which I never ever collaborated with, and I never collaborated with any hip hop artist. So it's going to be the first. It's going to be a concert of cross boundaries, across boundaries and separation, which I always like. And
Hmm.
so that's going on. I have a new album release on December 5th called Sacred Spiral.
Hmm.
So on December 10th, it's coming out. December 5th, it's the event release album at 11 a.m. PST. You're
Hmm.
invited to tune in and to ask questions and hear about the behind the scene. This album is featuring an incredible singer named Uyanga Bold from Mongolia who
Hmm.
sang for me, and she sings on a lot of video game scores and film scores. She sang on the last Disney movie Mulan, and
Wow.
she's an incredible singer, and she sings on all the tracks, and each track is a different style of music, and it's all kind of ambient, experimental, meditative style of music. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I saw you published a couple of tracks on Insight Timer as well. Good on you for that. That you're
Yeah.
still doing that as well. Are you going to be recording this retreat with this band and publish it on YouTube?
We're gonna videotape the concert with a Mayan hip hop band called Balam Ajpu. We're gonna record it, and then we'll see if the video is good. We'll release it on social media and maybe use it to try to bring them to Los Angeles, where I'm based in, for to do a big concert in Los Angeles. So we're gonna document it, but I don't know if we're gonna release it. Um, so and the residency in Lake Atitlan in Guatemala, it's not going to be recorded. It's classes and master classes and sessions that I'm giving, and just the people who are going to be there will be able to benefit from it.
That's so cool that you're doing that. I've been writing music myself, busy on YouTube and the podcast too, Yuval. So I'm still hanging in there,
Good,
and
good,
I still keep going as well.
good. I heard some good news from Australia this week that they are letting people go out finally.
Yes,
That's good
yeah,
news.
it's not been easy. People got to get COVID tests, and they have to pay for it.
Uh-huh. Yeah. But I heard that nobody could travel out. Nobody could
Mm,
go out for a year and a half.
yeah, it wasn't good. We had a second lockdown in Sydney. What about Los Angeles? Do you have any lockdowns since?
No, no, there was one lockdown in the very beginning
Hmm.
in March 2020, and since since June, everything is open and people are wearing masks indoors, but
Mm.
that's all. And, people have to do COVID tests and to show vaccinations, but numbers are much, much, much better. There was a surge of the Delta variant in August, in
Mm.
July, August, over the summer, but there was no lockdown. People just kept going, and the numbers now have been going down, so things are getting better.
Yeah, hopefully they get better for the music industry too
Yeah.
and start seeing live concerts, Yuval.
Right, right. That's very true. I'm giving two concerts in Los Angeles on December 17th and December 18th,
Hmm.
and but there's not much of other concerts and touring because a lot of theaters, a lot of venues are still closed, are still not back.
Hmm. And do you plan to tour Australia in the future once
Yeah,
things calm
certainly,
down?
certainly. Yeah, yeah. We really hope. We have some fans in Australia,
Hmm.
both on the west and the east coast, and I think most on the east coast. But some in Perth and some certainly in Melbourne and Sydney. We have fans, so we really hope to come and tour there.
That'll be so cool. Hopefully, I can go and watch you play live too.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah.
And what else is happening beside music with yourself?
Beside of music,
Hmm.
I'm raising two kids, who are 13 and 17.
Mm.
And my daughter is 17, my son is 13, and supporting my wife and my kids, helping them going through these very challenging times and keeping the morale up. And
Mm.
uh, I do gardening in my garden. We do bicycling. I'm very involved with the soccer scene. You
Hmm.
know, I used to coach soccer. I used to play soccer. Now I'm a team manager of my son's soccer club. So
Hmm.
we travel to do games, and so that's a lot of fun things to do together with my son. And I do yoga. I've been a yogi for 21 years now, and I do my yoga practice every day with
Mm.
chanting and stretches and meditation. And this is something that I really love to do. It's part
Mm.
of my life, part of my regular routine. And we see friends, we go out, we travel. It's almost fully normal for me, for my family, but it's not fully normal for the entertainment business and the record business and
Mm.
the touring business. It's not fully on.
Yeah, hopefully that improves too as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
You know, now
yeah,
yoga's good too. I like yoga as well. I'm
yeah,
planning to go bushwalking next week. Things have opened up
yeah,
too.
yeah. I wanted to tell you about my kids' mindfulness
Hmm.
music albums with meditation for kids and mindful activities for kids. So these are three new albums. One is it's called Kids Sanctuary, and it's the first one is just music, and it's just kind of meditative music for kids and for adults, of course. I enjoy listening to it. I know people who are adults and they just like to put it in the background. It's very calming. One of it's called Sleepy Time. It's good for sleep. One it's called Bye Bye Bellyache, which is based on Chinese medicine to soothe bellyache. And there's one called Focus Pocus, which is for concentration and learning. There's one that's called Enchanted Waters, which is very calming and uses kalimba from Africa and water sounds. So that's the first album, just music. Now the second album, it's called Kid Sanctuary Guided Listening,
Mm.
Guided Mindful Listening. My son Julian recorded a script that was written by a Montessori educator named Sophie Timpers,
Hmm.
who is my partner in this project, and she's a mindfulness teacher for kids and Montessori teacher for kids. And she wrote the script, having the kid narrator, my son Julian, leading the children on a journey of listening to the different elements in the music and the different sound effects of the music before they hear the music. So we guide them through just listening to single elements, and then later they listen to the whole piece together, and they have to find where are those single elements that they heard in the beginning. So it's kind of a play, it's kind of a game, and that it's a mindful practice because the kids have to focus on one thing. They have to focus on the sense of hearing. So that's the second album called Guided Mindful Listening, Kid Sanctuary Guided Mindful Listening. The third album is with an adult narrator from the BBC children programming named Kara Goyal, and Kara reads a script also written by educators, and the script is for the parents or caretakers and the child, and it leads them on mindful activities to
Mm.
do things. There's actual activities which are all like games and fun stuff for kids and parents to do, including massage, including uh, um, um, meditative activities, exercises of tightening up muscles and releasing muscles. It's all relaxation activities, and it's based on Chinese medicine. It's based on Western medicine as well. And so the music is in the background, and the narrator leads the kids on that activity. And
Hmm.
that is the third album called Kids Sanctuary Mindful Activities.
Hmm.
So This is available for parents and educators all over the world. It's available from my record company named Meta with double T, metamindfulnessmusic.com. And I encourage people to download the WAV file, the high quality WAV, to download it from the record company and not to stream it, because streaming is using low quality compressed audio files called MP3. So everything you hear on Spotify and YouTube and Apple Music, it's all bad quality, low quality. It's like a low res photo. It's like a bad quality photo. That's what you get when you stream music on MP3. When you download the CD quality audio, the files that are called WAV files, WAV, these are the full quality, the full sound, the full vibration. So you get the full meal and not a shrinking little compressed, shallow picture of what the music is. So
how do you feel about the sound quality on Insight Timer? Because I know you publish quite a fair bit, and that
the same problem. The
is
same
it?
problem.
Oh.
Insight Timer, it's all MP3s, and it's all low quality MP3s. So if you think it's beautiful, wait till you hear the real thing. Wait till you hear the full sound quality of that same music. Because what you think is beautiful, when you hear the whole thing, your whole being, your whole body and mind will be resonating. While before you listen, you said, wow, that's cool, that's really beautiful. You would not just think it's beautiful, you would feel it, because there are more vibrations, there are more frequencies in the high quality audio. And the high quality audio is not available on Insight Timer, it's not available on Spotify, it's not available on Amazon, it's not available on YouTube, it's not available anywhere. And so I convinced recently my record company, Meta Mindfulness Music, to carry all the high quality files, which are longer and bigger. The reason why they don't stream it is because there are larger files. So it takes time to download it, and then you can listen to it on any device you want, and you're listening to the full music rather than to a reduced version of the music.
Yeah, because with CD Baby, I've always submitted a WAV file all the time, but so they all shrink it to MP3 to stream.
They do that in order to send it to Amazon, Spotify, and 100 other platforms online that only stream. But on CD Baby, you used to be able to buy the CDs where you get the high quality. So now people don't want to buy CDs anymore. So I say, okay, so download the CD. Basically, downloading the high quality audio is like downloading the CD onto your computer or your phone, and then you can listen to it just like you used to listen to CDs. And the CDs quality of sound is much better than the MP3s. So that's my recommendation.
How do you feel about Bandcamp? Because I put my work on Bandcamp as well.
Bandcamp is very nice. It's very nice because they have an option where you can get the WAV files or the AIFF files, which is the same quality, or Flex quality, which is a little bit reduced, compressed quality, or the MP3, which is low quality. You have a choice. You can get any of those. So, and Bandcamp has all the liner notes of an album. You have the information, you have the credits, who played on it, who wrote it. Amazon used to have it, and in the last 2 years they took all the information out. When you go to buy music on Amazon, and the same with CD Baby. CD Baby used to have an album page for each album with credits, with liner notes. Same in Amazon. No longer. They took it all down. You buy music and you have no idea who played on it, who arranged it, who produced it, who composed it. Nothing. As if the public is just dumb, numb, and ignorant, and it's good to keep them in that state. That's the outcome of this policy, new policy of Amazon and CD Baby. They got lazy. Who cares? Who cares about the credits for the musicians? Who cares who? Nobody cares. The audience is dumb. The audience doesn't need it. Who cares? So it's not worth even our time to pay somebody $15 an hour to type in and maintain that database for the public. Like it always been part of the record industry since the beginning of the record industry until today. There was a tradition that you always provide the audience that buy the music the information: who played on the music, who arranged it, who produced it, who composed it. This is very, very important. No longer in our world, this is considered not important. And so Bandcamp still keep that information for the public and the audience, and I appreciate that.
I was going to say CD Baby. It's costed me like nearly $50 to distribute my album. That's money I'm forking out of my pocket too, and it's like you're losing money when you're putting them on streaming.
Right.
That's what our industry's done.
Yeah, I mean the record industry is truly broken. That's why artists must tour in order to make a living. You cannot make a living from recorded music anymore. Even the big artists, they have to tour. Even when they get to the 70s and the 80s. Look at Leonard Cohen. Leonard Cohen toured into his 80s. The Rolling Stones are on tour now. Do you know how old they are?
80s.
They are in the late 70s and 80s. The Rolling Stones. They have to go on tour. They have to. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to pay their bills. It's sad,
Who, when you see all their equipment, do they own all that, or does someone else? They rent it?
They own the guitars, but they don't own the amplification gear.
What about all the touring costs to ship all their equipment overseas? That's expensive.
Yeah, but if you look at the prices of tickets, concert tickets are extremely high. There's a lot of profit in it after paying all the expenses.
Yeah, that's what the industry is, Yuval.
That's what's left of the industry. Recording is just like a business card or a website. The recordings are just something that sells you, that opens your opportunity to tour. It's like a business card. It's a demo. Basically, all recordings now, it's a demo to show, what it sounds like, but you're not going to make any money on it. You're not going to make a living from the recording. You have to go tour that music. In order to tour that music, you need a video and you need an audio.
Have you worked with any celebrities?
I worked with the greatest flamenco singer living today, in my opinion. Her name is Estrella Morente. She sang the theme song on the movie of Penelope Cruz, sing that kind of lip singing. Volver, is the name of the movie. Estrella, the best kirtan singer in the Western world. Her name is Deva Premal. Those two ladies are on my album, Four Divine States of Mind. I also worked with one of the greatest Sufi Turkish musician in the world named Omar Farouk Tekbilek. He's a big name in world music. I worked with James Hood, who was the drummer of the Pretenders, and he's a hang player. I work with the people who play for the movies, all the Hollywood movies, as part of my work. The principal cellists and second violinists of the LA Philharmonic and the Hollywood Ball Orchestra. These the people who play for John Williams' movie are among my favorite players to work with, and the list goes on and on and on. You can look on my website, yuvalronmusic.com, and look at all the different projects that I've done. You'll see who I worked with.
Yeah, this is a great show, and I'll reference your website in the description and Insight Timer as well. But I'd like to thank you for coming back. It was awesome today.
You're welcome. I have to leave in a few minutes.
Yep.
So I wanted to just tell your listeners that I highly encourage them to look into getting music on high quality files. They can get Kids Sanctuary for the kids and their family. It's good for kids ages 2 to 12. And it's all on metamindfulnessmusic.com, also on my website, yuvalronmusic.com. And the crazy thing about this is that after I finished the 3 albums, which are in English, the record company asked me, hey, what do you think about translating it to other languages? Because kids around the world may not understand English
Mm-hmm.
in the ages 2 to 12. We should do the same thing, just translate it, use the same music, but we would have to hire a kid and an adult narrator and have a translator translate it. And I said, sure, that's a great idea. So in the last half a year, we worked very hard all over the world with people all over the world, from China to Israel to Spain to Venezuela to France, to translate this whole kids project to Spanish, French, Chinese, Mandarin, and Hebrew.
Wow.
So there's 4 sets of 3 albums coming out. The French came out in September, the Spanish is coming in January, the Mandarin is coming in February, and the Hebrew is coming in March. So by March, we're going to have this in total of 5 languages for kids all over the world to enjoy. So once I have it all done, I'll shoot you an email, and maybe we can have another conversation about that. And
that'll be awesome. Would you like to play some music on the podcast in the future?
Sure.
Yeah. Do you play? And what instrument do you play?
I play the oud, which is a Middle Eastern lute. But also, you could play some music from my recordings, including my world music recording with the Yuval Ron Ensemble. I wanted to say a word about Insight Timer. As I said earlier, that the sound quality on Insight Timer, it's as bad as on Spotify and Amazon and YouTube because it's low quality audio. The wonderful thing about Insight Timer, which I really appreciate, is that they created a community of meditators and people who are seekers and people who are spiritual and people who care about well-being and people who are seeking to use sound and meditation to improve their life. And they created this hub community of people all around the world. Millions of people are listening to my tracks, and I get feedback from them. I have more listeners on Insight Timer, and I have more feedback, more comments. For some reason, people on Insight Timer send more comments than anywhere else, more than on social media, more than on YouTube, more than on any other avenue. So it creates a wonderful back and forth that is very, very nourishing, both for the audience and for the artists. And Insight Timer created this, and this is a wonderful, wonderful achievement that I really appreciate.
I enjoy meditating to your work on Insight Timer, and I'd like to thank you for coming back today, Yuval.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Good to talk to you. And try, just for fun, try meditating with the Kids Sanctuary, even though you're not a kid, but just for fun, when you want to do something light and fun, which will increase your mindfulness, you can just pretend you're a kid and follow the instructions on Kids Sanctuary mindfulness activities or Kids Sanctuary listening, mindful listening. And you can find it on Meta Mindfulness Music. You may be able to find it on Insight Timer too. So look for Kids Sanctuary.
Will do.